Bracha. Because with Bracha is going to be I would like to start this evening with singing. And that's kind of what I'm going to say. We're going to do Eric Half. Meir, to Bracha, that you open a house. And I want to thank all the people that helped me to advertise, to ask this dollar to write such a beautiful article. So now I can help me with the flyers. And folk school that really open, there are really just the copies and just sending all the time. Now that we after Tishrei with all the holidays and before Hanukkah, we stay like ours with Cheshvan. The Cheshvan doesn't have holiday, beside my birthday. And really like I heard that this year they were saying that Cheshvan is the time when we have to struggle all our life to be connected. Tishrei is very easy to be connected because you have the holidays. But Cheshvan, we don't have it. So Cheshvan is really what we have all year. And that's what this song is talking about, Shirei Eretz Ahavati, of Leah Goldberg. Something that, oh, my beautiful country, my cool and beautiful country. The queen doesn't have a house, and the king doesn't have a crown. But there is 7 days of the year, 7 days of holidays. And the heart is open, and the candle of the lamp, and the table is set. And all your brothers are standing to feel up, and your brothers, and your sons, and your daughters are Chatan and Kala. And all your neighbors are brothers. Shirei Eretz Ahavati. לכורה שלי, ארץ נוי הביונה, למלכה אין בית, למלך אין כתר, ב7 ימים אביב בשנה, וסגריר וגשמים כל היתר. אך 7 ימים הפרדים פורצים, ו7 ימים הטללים זורחים, ו7 ימים חלונות פתוחים, וכל קבצנייך עומדים ברחוב, ונושאים חברונם אל האור הטוב, וכל קבצנייך שמחים. למלך אין כתר, אך 7 ימים חגים בשנה, ועמל ורעב כל היתר. אך 7 ימים הנרות ברוכים, ו7 ימים שולחנות ערוכים, ו7 ימים הלבבות פתוחים, וכל קבצנייך עומדים בתפילה, ובנייך בנותייך חתן וכלה, וכל קבצנייך אחים. התגובה שלי אביונה ומרה, למלך אין בית, למלכה אין כתר. רק אחד בעולם את שבחך המרה, ובנותך חרפתך כל היתר. ועל כן אלך לכל רחוב וסמטה, לכל שוק וחצר וסמטה וגינה, מאלפי חרבותייך כל אבן קטנה, על הקט ושמור למזכרת, ומעיר לעיר ממדינה למדינה, נודה עם שיר ותיבת נגינה, לתנות דלותך הזוהרת. לה 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 לה. בכורה שלי ארץ נוי אביונה, למלכה אין בית, למלך אין כתר. Tzipanu b'mashal. The king doesn't have a crown, and the queen doesn't have a house, and they have all these unwords, etc. So everybody has his own pekalach and his own isyarat. But you know, all the beggars are brothers, and all the beggars is like he's begging. Everything is like a mashal, like the king. Eretz Israel is like mine, Galut, like the spiritual hunger, but it's standing together. together. We all together. And like I said, from every rule we follow, every little stone that I'm going to go everywhere and I'm going to pick up everything and I'm going to build it all as like kinds of memory and be connecting with all the Yom Tovs and Shabbos, all these 7 years that keep us up the going that we're going to build the better Mikdash. So it's every little mitzvah we do, every chesed that we're doing is helping me do it, is helping me coming. And we're talking about chesed. There's 2 years ago, Sassi Drescher introduced me to a beautiful lady, a beautiful organization that does a lot of chesed. And I would like Sassi Drescher. Let's see the movie. Okay.
ואני מרגישה שהקדוש ברוך הוא נותן בי כוח ורצון לעזור ולתת כמה שאני יכולה.
אני נמצאתי בשני הרגליים ואשתי נהרגה במקום. כמו שאמא סיפרה לה, אמא נהרגה במקום. מישהי אחרי 4 ילדים, מצב כלכלי קשה מאוד. זהו, סוף העולם, אמא נהרגה, אבא זו בבית חולים, האלה זרמו לכל מיני מקומות שאנחנו מנסים לאפשר לנו מקום, אבל בגלל המצב הכלכלי הקשה, עוד לא יודעים מה לעשות, לא? זהו, אנחנו אומרים חרב עלינו עולמנו. אנחנו פונים וזועקים לאותם של אנשים טובים כמוכם, לאותם אגודות, מה שיכול לסייע ולעזור, מאוד מאוד יעזור לנו.
המשפחות הן משפחות שכבר ממש מתפוררות, ואין להן מקורות מחיה, כי מפסיקים לעבוד, וכל הזמן הם סביב המטופל עצמו, והילדים נותרים עזובים בבית, לבד. החלטנו שאנחנו עוזרים למשפחות ולא נוטשים אותם.
אני נפגעתי לפני 1.5 שנה בגבעת צרפתית. קיבלתי 4 יריות ברגל ימין, ומאז אני לא עובד. רבנית ליאורה פעם בשבוע עוזר לנו.
מדי שבוע מחלקת אגודת אור מאיר וברכה למשפחות נפגעי טרור למעלה מ-250 סלי מזון המספיקים למשפחה לכל ימות השבוע. ובחגים מחולקים למעלה מ-5,000 סלי מזון, והכל מתרומות של יהודים טובים הנותנים כתף תומכת למשפחות שחרב עליהם עולמן.
זה היה פיגוע, וכבר לא נתנו בית, זה לא בחיים, והכל הלך ונהרס, לא היה לי כלום בבית. לא הייתה לי אורה, אני לא יודעת איפה אני מגיעים. כל שבוע שאנחנו באים לכאן, אנחנו מרגישים שהיא פותחת לנו את כל הלב, את הכל. איפה שהיא יכולה רק זה לתת, זה לעזור היא עושה. את כל מה שהיא יכולה.
נסע, דגים, עופות, הכל טוב לכאן עכשיו.
איפה אני אקח את זה?
לחשמונאים.
בואי צריך מים.
הכנת סלי המזון וחלוקתם מתבצעת מתבצעת על ידי מתנדבים הבאים עם רכבם או מחלקים את סלי המזון עד לביתם של נפגעי הטרור בכל רחבי הארץ. השאר מגיעים בכוחות עצמם לאזור החלוקה.
לפני כשנתיים בעלי נרצח, נשארתי עם 3 קטנים בגילאים של היום בני 5, 3 ושנה. סליחה שלי מאוד מאוד עוזרת לי, שזה ההפתה. קדוש ברוך הוא נמשיך לסייע והדעת לעזור מעם ישראל וכל מה שצריך. הרבה טובה, תהיה לך שנה טובה, שנה טובה וחיים השם. שנה טובה, תראה את הכל? כן, שנה.
אנחנו כל שבוע פה, ומשהו נותן, אוכל נותן משהו, גם כסף, גם מתנות.
והבנות האלה, המתוקות האלה, גדלות אצל סבא וסבתא, אמא נהרגה בפיגוע, האבא נשרף למוות. לפני שבועיים מצאנו מישהו שקנה לילדים בגדים ונעליים, ועוזרים להם כמה שאנחנו יכולים.
כל הכבוד, כל הכבוד, כן ירבו כמון. שלך בעצם נקרא למצב כזה, למצב כל קשה, וכשאתה רואה אנשים כאלה חמים, שמגיעים באמת עם שקיות, עם מתנות, עם עזרה, עם סיוע, פשוט מרם את הלב. לביקור חולים אצל משפחת נחמד צריכים כוחות נפש על-אנושיים. בסבתא נרצחו בדם קר 7 מצאצאיה, ועתה נלחמים על חייו של הנכד השמיני.
זה כל כך מתגעגעת אליך ורוצה שאתם נלחץ. זה כמה הייתה הדרך בתהליך. בכל ממלא, בכל כמה עזרת לנו. ממש ילד קרוב, מחרפה אליי, לא במישהו. רצח אותם. ילדים טהורים, ילדים קדושים, לא פשעו, לא חטאו, לא עשו כלום.
ראיתי את כל התמונות המחרידות, גופות ברצפה, ראיתי את הילד שלי, את הילד שלי ישב כאן הקצר מישהו מת. שהיה ממש פיח כזה. הנחמה שלי שראיתי אותו שלם, לא מפורק. אני מסתובב שמאלה אחרי 2 מטר, ואת הילד השני שלי הגדול, מהמעיים בחוץ. כופפתי, הילד שלו בהכרה, הוא ענה לי, עוזר, וזה. זהו, אני רואה את ניסי שוטט, עזרא תעזור לי.
7 ילדים שלי. בת שלי 2, בן שלי 4, שאשתו ילדים בואו. באו לי.
רואה, ובעלה ניסי, הם עזרו לי מהפיגוע, בשעות פתוחה, בשעות משבר, בשעה של חולשה, בשעה שכדי הקדשת קצת כוחות, המלכד רב מאיר, ברכה, תמך ועזר לכל אלה שנזקקים ונפגעי עצמו, אלה ששבורים, כל התלאות מה שעבר עליהם, כל הטראומה הקשה שעבר עליהם.
וכדי להוציא את נפגעי הטרור מהטראומה והסבל היומיומי, מארגנת ומממנת אגודת אור מאיר וברכה ימי נופש וכיף למשפחות נפגעי הטרור.
ראינו כמה משפחות שהגיעו למצב של מתח איום ונורא, או שאיבדו ילד, או שהילד נפגע, וכל הבית ממש קורס ומתמוטט. החלטנו לארגן נופש פעיל, מקווים בזכות הדבר הזה יוכלו לגשר על כל מיני פערים שביניהם נוצרו, לחזור לחיים כנים עד כמה שניתן. הבאנו לכאן מרצים מאוד טובים, פסיכולוגים מאוד מאוד טובים. כל משפחה תקבל טיפול אישי בעזרת השם. ובעלים ועברו אותו. 9 ילדים, ילדה הקטנה בת 3, גדולה בת 18, התמודדות מאוד קשה כל יום זה התמודדות חדשה. היום הילדים שלי מאושרים, זה מספיק לי.
לנופש זה על שפת ים כנרת, הובאו משפחות עם ילדיהם מכל רחבי הארץ.
אדם שנפגע בטרור, הוא יוצא החוצה, הוא מקבל אווירה שונה, הוא מקבל חשק להמשיך לחיות. הוא לא לבד בעולם, יש לו מישהו שעוזר לו מפה, מישהו נותן לו פוש מפה, נותן לו אוויר לנשימה מהחיי היום-יום הקשים האלו.
את האווירה משיגים על כוס קפה ועוגה. בחוץ הילדים משחקים ונותנים מנוחה להורים. בפנים הרצאות רוחניות, אין כמו צחוק לבודות. וכמובן, אוכל ברמה של 5 כוכבים 3 פעמים ביום, וזאת כשמישהו אחר מבשל ומגיש לך.
וכיף לנו, לצאת קצת מהשגרה של הבית, לא לחוצים, כיף, להיות ביחד מאוחדים.
טיולים גם הם עוזרים לצאת מהשגרה.
הראשונה שלי שאני יוצא ואז שכבתי שם למעלה מחצי שנה, שוחררתי הביתה ואני מתמודד.
אני מודה להם, למשפחות האלה, שיש לי את הזכות להפיק להם מהצער שיש להם בתוך הלב. אני רוצה להודות מעומק לב לכל התורמים, לכל רחבי העולם. אומנם אתם רחוקים מאיתנו, אבל אתם קרובים לנו בתוך הלב, ובזכותכם דברים כאלה יוצאים לפועל, ואני ממש מברכת אתכם שתמשיכו לעשות חי. קדוש ברוך הוא ישת יצחכם, יחד איתכם, בעזרת השם אנחנו נגיע לתוצאות מאוד מאוד טובות. תודה רבה.
Ladies, I think the movie speaks for itself. I don't think there's really much more to say except that besides 250 packages, she's now up to 400 packages a week. And I just spoke to her today. I said, what do you want me to tell the ladies? And she said, tell them that for the last 3 weeks she hasn't given any chicken in the packages. She doesn't have enough money for chicken. She gives a little fruit, she gives vegetables, she gives challah. So she asked me to please, that you should open your hearts, whatever you give in, whatever you can give, if you give in more. She'd like to give them an extra nice special package for extra bachanas. Unfortunately, Vilha just told me that a friend of us was just in a car accident, and they called me, they asked us to please say till Esther Bas Miriam, is that her name? Esther Bas Miriam. Just say when her parents got together. Everybody will do it responsibly.
Shamayim va'aretz. Al yitem lamot raglecha al yonum shomrecha. Hine lo yonum v'lo yishan shomer Yisrael. Adonai shomrecha, Adonai tzilcha al yad yaminecha. Yom HaShemesh lo yakecha v'yareach b'layla. Adonai yishmarcha mikol ra, yishmar es nafshecha. Adonai yishmar tzeischa u'voecha me'ata bi'ad olam.
Rushed to the hospital. We asked all these followers, all the community, to take upon them to say, Nishmat Kol Chai. There is a unit also people that can see. To take upon them Li Neder to say Nishmat Kol Chai. There's a story about Rabbi Pinchas that it was a big boil in Poland, and he went and he mauled the boy and the baby, and the baby just didn't stop breathing. And it was in that breath, he was Rabbi Pinchas Monopoly, and he's saying, please everybody, let's sit down and make a seudah of the make a seudah for Nishmat Kol Chai, and everybody going to say together, and then the baby got better. So it's a special for this Nishmat Kol Chai. And it was one old summer, one sharp summer, and I had a guest at the house. And when he got home, he said, please let's go to the Draxman house, and which I usually don't go there, like for Shabbos over there. And we went over there and the Shabbos into Milat Malka, and then we were sitting there. Rabbi Draxman and Italian Draxman sing the song, a new song that he wrote with Yehuda Levin, who's the husband of Kadva Shul in Manhattan. It's called Mishmat Kochai. And when I heard the song, I say, this, I'm making Mizat Hashem, Mishmat Kochai evening. Would you mind that I'm going to sing the song? And I need permission to sing it. So I don't have a saxophone, I have the guitar, and I'll be choir with it. It's just going to be a cappella. So I finish the song. Mishmat Kochai. Mishmat
Thank you, Rachel. I hope you can start believing what you're saying.
Can you all hear me without this?
No, it's better with
Need it?
Okay. Tonight was filled with emotion so far. And this is a tremendous tzedakah. It has so much to do with nishmas. But nishmas really is an enigma. This is a tefillah that has so much power to it. So many segulos. So many stories of Yeshua. I have to tell you that within the few weeks that these blue flyers were everywhere, every time I saw a blue flyer, I knew someone's coming at me. And what they say is, Nishmas is my favorite tefillah. You can't imagine how many people say this. I, of course, asked them, why? That's really what I get. Okay, you can't really fill a whole shiur with that. It's your favorite tefillah. It pulls at people's heartstrings. It has so much Yeshua. What is going on? On top of that, go to Eretz Yisrael, midnight at the Kotel. They're not saying Shir HaMalos. They're not saying Kriya Shema. They're not saying Ashrei. Every time you get into Olam Haba. They're saying Nishmas every single night. B'kavona. Huge, massive crowds. If you thought that you could get close to the Kotel at night, forget it. What's the special power? What's the pull? How do we tap into it? So to start with, let me invite you to look at these segulos. I saw them. There are too many for me to list. We'd be here for 3 hours if I listed them in order. I'm just going to give you a few. To start with, the Stipler, in the name of Rav Heschel, who taught the Shach, he's a commentary on the Shulchan Aruch, said that there is a way to remove tzara. Okay, he's not just anybody here. He said there's a way to remove tzara. There's 2 things you need to do. The very first thing is to give tzedakah. The second thing is to promise that when you are out of the tzara, that you're going to say nishmas. Not to say nishmas, to promise that you eventually will at the end. That's incredible. Let's go on. The Stipler's granddaughter was rushed to the hospital. He told everybody to say nishmas. She's Baruch Hashem fine. Rav Shimon Shkop told his student Rav Gusman when he was drafted into the Polish army, don't worry, say nishmas b'kavana and it will all be okay. He did, and it was. Drafted from the Polish army. The Ben Ish Chai. I need to read you this in Hebrew because it's amazing. And he says, V'hu mesugal al kol tzara. He tells each person for segula on any tzara. She'adam omei ba. Any single tzara that a person has. She'yidor neder, that he should make a promise, lomar achar hatzalas mihatzara, that after you say from the tzara, shevach zeh shel nishmas kochai. Say this nishmas, v'yo'ilo, and it will help you. Rabbeinu Chaim Palagi brings down Rabbi Yehuda Nasi, Zechron Lebracha, Rabbi Yehuda Nasi, Shemesugal al kol tzara shelo tavo, in order to ward off tzara before it comes. L'kabel ha'adam al atzmo, a person should take upon himself, shekasha Hashem yatzilehu mehatzara, that when Hashem will get him out of this tzara, lomar nishmas kochai, B'toda b'zimra, and he should sing nishmas b'fnei asara, in front of 10. Nitzalu harbe, and many have been saved. And he goes on to say, V'hu baduk uminasa. This is tried and true. If you're looking for something, I believe we found it. There are many, many more. The questions are, what is it? It's a tefillah. These people aren't saying the tefillah, they're promising, they're holding it over HaKadosh Baruch Hu's head to be like a carrot. If you take care of me, I'll tell you this tefillah. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. What's the power? What makes nishma so potent? So in order to understand this, we really need to look at it more. Where does it come from? It's written, Rabbeinu Yonah brings down a commentary on Maseches Brachos. And he says that Nishmas was written in its purest form, not what we've got now. In its purest form, during the times of the Mishnah, and at that point it was said privately. During the times of the Gaonim, roughly 800 to 1,000 years ago, it was then decreed to be said publicly, but only on Shabbos. Now we have another question. What's its power and why only on Shabbos? Well, we need to look at its basic components. What is Nishmas made of? We need to take it apart so that we can grab hold, because this is a power that needs to be reckoned with. We need to get close to it, and we need to use it. The first part that Nishmas has is Hoda'ah, gratefulness. The second component that it has is Shira. So let's look at Hoda'ah. Okay, Hoda'ah. Hoda'ah is actually who we are. We are not Ibrim. We are Yehudim. We're Yehudim, named after the fourth son of Yaakov, one of the Shvatim. He wasn't the oldest. Really, by right, we should have been named Reuvenim. But we're named Yehudim. Why are we named Yehudim? So, we see from the Gemara Brachos, plus Daf Zayin Amud Beis, Amar Rabbi Yochanan, Mishum Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, Miyom Shabara Kodesh Baruch Hu Es Olamo, since the beginning of creation. Lo Haya Adam Shehoda La Kodesh Baruch Hu, there wasn't anyone that gave incredible thanks to Kodesh Baruch Hu, Ad Shaba'a Leah Hodato Shne'emar, until Leah came along and said, in Bereshis, Perikov Tes Pasuk Lamed Hey, Ha'apam Odeh Es Hashem. Now I thank Hashem. Till Yehuda was born and Leah gave Hoda'ah to Kodesh Baruch Hu, there was no Hoda'ah said by anybody, all Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, by anybody until Leah came. What was so great about that? What did she say so great about thank you? After all, this was before. She saw Baruch HaKodesh, that Yaakov Avinu is going to have 12 sons, Shiftei Kah. She quickly calculated that being that Yaakov has 4 wives, likely each of the wives will have 3 sons. When she went ahead and had her 4th, she thanked the Kodesh Baruch Hu because she felt that she got more than she was originally allotted. That's why we're called Yehudim. That, because she got more than she thought and she said thank you, what was the big deal over there? This is what gratefulness is. Feeling that you got your filled and this is extra. Feeling that this is Harikosi Lachem Bracha Ad Belidai. I've gotten more. I got more. I don't deserve. It's not coming to me. This is extra. This is something really great. That describes the essence of a Jew. That is who a Jew is. Knowing that what we get from the Rebbeinu Shalom is extra. It's not coming because we're good people. We're good people, but we're not perfect. We're not unbelievable that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is giving us so many millions of chasadim. Unbelievable. A Yehudi is someone who acknowledges that it comes from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, everything. And it comes for free. It comes from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That who a Yehudi is. A Yehudi knows that it comes from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And that's really amazing. But really, a Yehudi knows that me personally, I got it. Sha'asali li nes. I got it. And so an amazing thing happens. Because actually, we see a Meiridic thing. A little spiritual gem inside our Shemona Esrei to prove this point. When you daven Shemona Esrei with its Shalich Tzibur and you finish, and then he says the Shemona Esrei, he's saying it's for us. He's mitzi us. He is our communal voice. When he is saying recitation of the Shemona Esrei, we don't talk. You can't. He's saying it for us. We dare not talk. We say Bracha Baruch Shemo. We say Amen. He says anything, and we know Kedusha. We're answering, except for when it comes to Modim. When it comes to Modim, not only do we interrupt, we jump right in there, and we jump right in with a different Modim. He's saying something else. Not only are we not listening to him, we're going ahead and making up our own tefillah. What happened? I thought we were supposed to not interrupt. My father taught me this. He said, a Yehudi is such that knows a real Hoda'ah wants to do it on their own. It's not okay by a shaliach. Don't send my thank yous. I want to say it. It comes from me. Move over. I got what to say. In my words, this is how I feel. That's real Hoda'ah. And there are people that really will never give thank you by themselves. It doesn't matter if they're very sick. It doesn't matter if they're exhausted. They're going to get on the phone themselves. You know that they're going to do this because they understand truly what Hoda'ah is. We are Yehudim. We know what Hoda'ah is. One step further with Hoda'ah. The time is of Yesa Mashiach. No more tefillah. No more korbanos. Because we won't need it. There won't be any tzaras. Except Korban Toda. No more korbanos except for Korban Toda. Because Hoda'ah is who we are. Because we understand our connection is with the Ribbon Shalom. But we need to take it a little bit further. Because Hoda'ah would be really nice. But just like that is not enough. Nishmas is called Birchas Shir. It's the quintessential confirmation of the Hoda'ah, of the wonderfulness, the connection that we have with the Ribbon Shalom. Gemara Chulin Daf Tzadi Aleph Amud Beis. Chavivin Yisrael Lifnei HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So beloved are the Jews to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Yoser mimalachei hashares, even more beloved than angels. Why? Yisrael omrim shira b'chol sha'ah. Klal Yisrael, somewhere in the earth, is saying shira every hour. Yoser mimalachei hashares, more than malachei hashares. It goes on further. The ein malachei hashares omrim shira lemala. The malachim cannot say shira up above in heaven. Until Yidden are going to say shira down here. Because it says in Tehillim, Kidmu Sharim, first Yisrael is going to sing, Achar Niganim, then the Malachim are going to sing. Shira is Hoda'ah, an outpouring of song. Shira is an unbridled love song between Klal Yisrael and the Yidden. Shira, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Shira is an ecstatic expression. Beyond words. It's in poetry, it's in verse, it's in song, it's in niggin. What is it expressing? Hakar Satov. More than Hakar Satov. It's the ability to have it come beyond you, get expressed in not a logical way, a passion of the heart. Now, Shira in its own self is awesome. Shir HaShirim, the most Kodosh Sefer, is a love story between Klal Yisrael and the Kodesh Baruch Hu. It has its own power. Perek Shira, which tells us that the entire universe sings Shira to Kodesh Baruch Hu. And when we say Perek Shira, besides that we're promised life in Gan Eden and unbelievable stuff, we give voice to everything on the earth so that it could sing Shira. We're the catalyst. We're the conductor for the symphony. And that's incredible. But Shira is even more. Shira has incredible power. Chizkiyahu HaMelech was one of the greatest kings. He was the best cure worker. Turned all Klal Yisrael into incredible Yidden. Anashim, V'tam, everybody knew Torah. Klal Yisrael was on such a high madrega. Chizkiyahu won war after war. He was on top of his game. HaKadosh Baruch Hu said to Yeshayahu, the Navi, said, listen, if Chizkiyahu HaMelech sings Shira to me, I'll bring Mashiach. Go tell Chizkiyahu to sing Shira. Don't tell him about Mashiach. Go tell him to sing Shira. Yeshayahu goes to Chizkiyahu, says, Chizkiyahu HaMelech, sing Shira to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He says, I have a war to win first, afterwards. Comes back after the war. Yeshayahu says, Chizkiyahu, sing Shira to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Chizkiyahu HaMelech, the great Chizkiyahu HaMelech says, me and God, we understand ourselves. I don't need to sing Shira. I needed to become Mashiach. Mashiach could have come from singing Shira. I'll tell you that what I had been through in my lifetime before I had my daughter, my first one, I'm not Chizkiyahu, but I sure don't want to forget to sing Shira for all of that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave me, which is why we named her Shira. So if I have to say the name Shira, likely I'll remember. But Nishmas is more than Hoda'ah, more than Shira. Nishmas is something else. Nishmas can only be said on Shabbos. Nishmas on Shabbos is an incredible connection of much more than the Rebbeinu Shalom with Klal Yisrael. Says the Nesibo Shalom, the Slonim Rebbe, who brings the Orach Chaim HaKadosh, that says, the pasuk that we all know, Ki sheishes yamim asa Hashem es hashamayim ba'aretz. Says the Orach Chaim HaKadosh, it should have said, Bisheishes yamim, in 6 days, HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world. It doesn't say Bisheishes. It says Sheishes yamim. The Orach Chaim translates that to say, HaKadosh Baruch Hu created 6 days, that's it, folks. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu intended only to create 6 days. And then a new Bria. The 6 days were the days of Gashmias. A new Bria, Shabbos, the day of the Neshama. The 6 days of the Gashmias, Shabbos, the Neshama. Shabbos has the power to reinvigorate, give chiyas, and recreate another 6 days. And the way the world works, according to the Orach Chaim Kadosh, is that there are 6 days, and then there's Shabbos. Shabbos allows a new creation of 6 more days every single Shabbos. And Shabbos is not just an occurrence that happens. Klal Yisrael has to keep Shabbos. If there wouldn't be anybody, chas v'shalom, anybody, even one person, to keep Shabbos, says the Orach Chaim HaKadosh, the world would go back to Tohu Vabohu, because it doesn't have Shabbos to give it chiyas. Shabbos has that power to recreate the world. So, we have to understand that we are a partnership with HaKadosh Baruch Hu in creation. Because if we're not going to keep Shabbos, Shabbos can't just happen. And when we keep Shabbos, that's what happens. He says, from Adam HaRishon, who kept Shabbos, went to Shes, went to Mesushelach, went to Noah, went to Shem, went to Avraham Avinu, and then went to Klal Yisrael. And there hasn't been a Shabbos in between, otherwise we wouldn't be here anymore. Therefore, it ends up that Shabbos is the neshama of the week. So, to that extent, HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives us a neshama yisera. Let's at least understand what is a neshama yisera. It's not a second neshama. A neshama yisera that comes in Erev Shabbos Kodesh, goes out Havdalah, is that shukha, that incredible thirst and yearning for dveikus with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's the want of our neshama. Hey, Lagav Hashefer, I want to be close with you. That's the neshama yisera. That's what Shabbos is all about. Shabbos has no mitzvahs aseh except for Kiddush. Every other mitzvah, which is designed for dveikus, that's the whole purpose, Lu Lulav, Esrog, all mitzvahs aseh that are designed for Shabbos doesn't have. Just Kiddush, and that's only words. It's not action. What's the action? What's the mitzvah of Shabbos? Dveikus itself. And the HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives us the Neshama Yisera. Now we can understand Nishmas a little bit more. The Neshama needs its song. Nishmas is the song of the Neshama that's sung on Shabbos. Nishmas is more than a song. It's the expression of the Neshama itself, saying, hey, look at Shepherd, I want to be close with you. One more thing. The Zohar Kadosh says, Ha-Yoma, this day, which is Shabbos, Yoma de Nishmasin is the day of the Neshama. Begin kach, because of that, Mishavchim, we praise Hashem, V'tushbechin de Neshamta. That's why we say Nishmas. It's not because it's Shabbos we say Nishmas. Nishmas is needed because the expression of the Neshama is Nishmas. If you thought it comes from a regular place, it comes straight from the Neshama. If the song of the Neshama is Nishmas, what is Nishmas? We need to know what we're saying. Nishmas is a passionate list of the gifts that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us and our inadequacy to express it properly. We say to HaKadosh Baruch Hu that our very being depends on HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Mibaladecha ein lanu melech, without you we have no one. We're utterly dependent on you. The whole first section speaks about our dependence. It leads us to the second section, which is in our inadequacy to praise HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ilu pinu malei shira kayam. If our mouths would be as filled with song as the oceans. Ulashonenu rina kahamon galav, and our tongues would be filled with songs like the waves in the ocean. V'sifsoseinu shevach kemerkavei rakia, and our lips would be filled with praise as filled with the heavens still. No matter what, we still wouldn't be able to thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu enough. Ein anachnu maspikim l'godot lacha. No way could we fill it up. We're utterly empty of what we need to say. There are no words. Now we come to our end. So if this is it, if this is what Nishmas is, Shir, Hoda'ah, complete Dveikus, a song of the Neshama, why all these segulas? So there for what? How does it go together? Now we're on another level. Now we stepped up to Nishmas itself. From this vista we can understand these segulos. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, in His infinite wisdom, cause us actions, tzara, that affect our change and our connection to the Rebbeinu Shalom. He wants us closer. He tells us, Tantale, come home, come near, come near. He gives us ways to do it. And if we're going to be able to come home through Nishmas and use that incredible power of our neshama to come closer, then HaKadosh Baruch Hu maybe doesn't need this cause and effect to have us come closer. And we could get closer without it. And we could accomplish what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants without the sorrow.
We'll say it together. Judy?
I want to leave you with a Sfas Emes. That's amazing. He says there's a Nekuda Panemius. There is a place in every person, deep down inside us. He says there's a place that can be not touched by outside influences. Totally pure. A place inside every single person that is totally pure place. And he says, we have that ability to let it flourish and fill us up. And the catalyst that will let us fill it up is Nishmas. And we need to have Nishmas fill us up because each and every Yid inside is a pure, untouched place where HaKadosh Baruch Hu resides inside us. Nishmas, the song of the Neshama, expresses an utter love and dependency, and love and connection and Dveikus HaKadosh Baruch Hu. No wonder it has this kind of power. HaKadosh Baruch Hu should give all of you and all of Klal Yisrael Yeshuos, Rachamim. Should give it now, immediately. We should be able to see it. And we should be so filled with the Dveikus HaKadosh Baruch Hu that colors our entire week, our entire day, our Shabbos, our every bit of davening, our every bracha, everything we do, until we feel so filled up that we're filled with the HaKadosh Baruch Hu. There's no need for tsar. There's only need for the Mashiach to finally come.